This time I made long dream project. I bought mold and made this from Plaster of Paris. When I bought this headless couple mold, I was thinking about personalization. I drilled the holes to put toothpicks, and my idea was to add photographs of couple who are getting married. As idea in my head, everything was just perfect. But once I came to realization and put toothpicks in the holes, I quickly realized that bride overlaps the groom. But I went with toothpick idea anyways. I never made anything related to wedding, but always wanted to do something, so now it's time. When I was happy with the length of so-called necks, I took glue and I glued on the sticks little tiny wooden discs, and the idea was to glue pictures on those. If you wouldn't know what I was planning to do, by itself it looks very weird. Now it looks weird anyways. Then I let glue dry for a minute. After longer than a minute, I took gesso and went over all Plaster of Paris decoration, and the reason is that paint will cover the surface better. Little wooden discs didn't want to stay in place. I had to come up with different solution. I glued sticks in so they're not moving anywhere. I added even more glue to fill the gaps, and did let the glue dry. And my other solution was clay. I made spheres, flattened them as a space for photo to be on. And I had to mold them into different directions so the both faces are visible. That was some job there. It took ages. When finally I was quite happy, I let them dry. And gesso again. White clay would be way better, but all I had was grey. I needed a couple of coats of gesso because grey just kept coming through. I'm finally ready to paint. These are not all the colors I ended up using, but the first thought of what I would need. I mixed some colors, which I thought would be for flowers and dress. And I started to paint. I don't know what came over me. Painting wedding dress. Blue? Really? All I wanted was just to get the feel of depth and shadow. And of course, after that I dried and went over with white many coats again. And here I am, trying to cover my mistake. I can't remember how many times I went over that part. It's still visible if you look closely, even after drying. Then with skin color, which I didn't include in a color choice, I went over places where skin is visible. Altogether I needed 2 coats. When that was dry, I painted suit all black. I was considering navy, but black looked more official. And for suit, I needed 2 coats of black as well. When that was finally done, and I love how they look already, I started to paint flowers in the pinkish color. I did want to paint each flower head separate, but I ended up just coloring all pink. Next, I took gold glitter and green glitter. With the gold, I went around the flowers to give a little shine, and with green, all rest of bouquet. With gold, I thought that I would go over the top of the dress, but it was see-through and won't cover anything. I needed 2 coats for flowers as well. Then for top of the dress, I chose yellow, don't know why, but it looks very, very beautiful together with flowers. And I don't know why I painted groom's shirt pink as well, no explanation there. But I would leave it white, but in my head, I thought the couple need to match. Finally, all painting job is done. I like the outcome even with the pink shirt. Finally, varnish time. I like the glossy finish and I varnished just to secure the paint job. And the last bit was to glue on faces. I printed out mine and my man's pictures, cut the faces out. My one looks not so weddingly, but I glued them on just as example. Picking and choosing and printing and cutting wasn't easy task. I had to find 2 similar distance photos, so they're somewhat the same size. And this is what I came up with. Not the perfect size from behind, but don't look there. Just look from the front. There's always space for improvement, but I quite like this what I made. This is not the only one I made. Behind the scenes, I made another. This is the final look of the first one. And the second, which wasn't filmed. I hope you liked this video and thanks for watching.